Today, we are diving into a document that's, well, it's part legal complaint, part personal manifesto, and honestly, a huge cry for justice. It was filed by a professor who was terminated, but he calls it something much more powerful, a map of ethical betrayal. So let's explore this map, shall we?
Right from the jump, on the opening pages, you get this warning. It sets this incredibly defiant, confrontational tone for the entire thing. It's a direct challenge from a man who feels the very system he gave his life to has turned on him.
So you have to ask yourself, right? What would drive someone to write a document this massive and send it to a list of people that includes the governor of California, the attorney general, huge universities, major banks, even the Wikimedia Foundation? That is exactly what we're going to unpack. To really get this complaint, we first have to understand the man behind it, Professor Dr. Mohammed Ibrahim Fayyad. And to understand his approach, there's this key legal term you need to know. The professor is filing this prepare. That means he is his own lawyer. This is huge. This isn't some fight being waged by a big legal team. No, this is a deeply, deeply personal battle he is fighting all by himself and on his own terms. Just look at this journey laid out right here. It spans almost 50 years. He comes to America with practically nothing in his pocket, works his way into a top university, survives a life-threatening heart transplant, and then, after all that, faces a career-ending termination that just lit the fuse for this whole conflict. Wow. You can just feel the profound sense of loss in his words, can't you? This isn't just about losing a job. The whole document frames this as a betrayal of a lifetime dedicated to science and knowledge. He literally describes it as falling victim to something dark inside the very institutions he was trying to serve. Okay, so now let's get into the core allegations. The complaint itself is structured just like a map, and it lays out what he sees as his coordinated campaign against him. It really boils down to 3 central claims aimed at professional societies and academic institutions.
And listen, this goes so far beyond a simple "you fired me unfairly" claim. He's alleging a much, much broader conspiracy. He's saying that these powerful organizations worked together to exclude him, that they actively tried to destroy his reputation, and that they illegally took his intellectual and financial property.
Let's just zoom in on that second allegation for a second: character assassination. He describes a very clear cause and effect. The alleged method, leaking damaging information. And the result, a climate of professional terror. I mean, what a phrase. It suggests his colleagues were so scared they wouldn't even associate with him.
And the map of betrayal just keeps unfolding. The document also gets into claims of stolen book royalties, being cut off from research grants so he had to pay for his own lab, and even accuses colleagues of turning his own students against him, all because he claims they were jealous of his discoveries. Okay, this brings us to what is, honestly, one of the most remarkable parts of this whole document: the distribution list. This thing wasn't just sent to a few key people. No, this was broadcast far and wide. So yeah, the main addressees are the top legal and executive powers in the state of California. But the carbon copy list, the CC list, that tells an even bigger story about just how systemic he believes this problem is. First, he went after the government. He's not messing around. By looping in top state officials, county law enforcement, and civil rights departments, he's basically making a case that involves every single level of official oversight. Next up, he takes the complaint right to the heart of his own world: academia and the professional societies. He includes his old universities, the very organizations like IEEE and ACM that he's accusing of betrayal, and major publishers. He's making sure the alleged perpetrators can't just ignore it. And finally, commerce and law. By copying the big banks and all 3 credit bureaus, he's signaling that his financial and professional reputation is on the line. And then, get this, he includes his healthcare provider and over 25 different employment law firms. He is putting every single system that touches a professional's life on notice. So, after laying out this incredible map of betrayal and blasting it out to this mind-boggling network of people and institutions, what does he actually want? What is the ultimate demand here? And there it is. That's really the core thesis of this entire 70-page document. He's making it crystal clear that this isn't some plea for pity. This is a demand for accountability, and he frames it as a fundamental right that's grounded in the nation's founding principles. And that leaves all of us with a really critical question to think about.
In a conflict this complicated, one that involves dozens of powerful institutions versus one person's entire life's work, what would justice or real accountability even look like? It's a question that goes way beyond this one specific case, and it really touches the very core of institutional power and individual rights.